Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to um, another live session here on Saro Training YouTube channel. In today's video, I would be answering your questions. I have a few questions that has been already submitted. I'm going to start with answering those, and meanwhile, you can answer your questions live if you're joining me. All that and more in today's video.
If you want to learn the negative effects of treat training which causes your dog to develop bad behaviors and health issues, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified about our next video.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. In today's video, I'm going to answer your questions that you have already submitted and also answer your questions that you're going to be submitting live. So go ahead and feel free to ask any questions that you have in the chat area. Welcome. Thank you for being here. If you're joining me live, I have few questions already sent. A few days ago, I sent an email to my list and asked them to ask any questions that they have ahead of time to make sure that I would be able to answer all those questions. Just want to make sure that I am um, doing okay audio and also video wise. Let me just quickly check. Let me see if I can hear myself. Okay, all right. Audio, video is good. Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions in the chat area. I will be answering them as time assists, and also if I can always circle back and come back to your questions as well. So today is mainly Q&A, and I'm going to start with this question that it's from, I'll start with this one. Hello, sir. Could you tell me more about the training of Samoyds? Everyone says that 20 minutes is nothing for him, but I appreciate your approach and would love to know your opinion. Thank you. And this question came from, it's a Russian. In Russian, I'm guessing. I can't really read it, and I can't say it actually. So it's came through one of the questions on my videos. So the answer to this question is basically it doesn't really matter what breed of dog you have. I believe every dog is a pet dog. If you don't have it as a pet dog, as you have it in a working breed dog or working dog in your family and things like that, that's a different story. We're mostly focused on family pet dogs, right? Family pet dogs are different. What I mean by that is you got your dog as a pet companion, as a dog who's living with you, and the purpose of it is to make you feel good, be your companion and be part of your life. It's not there to protect you or to serve any other purpose. I'm not talking about service dogs either, just talking about simple pet dogs. So if your Samoyed is a pet dog, and this applies to all pet dogs, because of our lifestyles, right? The way we live, our humans live, because we go to work, we are busy with our work, with our lives, and things like that. We have a different lifestyle. So, pet dogs, when they come and live with us, they have to kind of uh, incorporate within our lives, and they have to learn how to um, get along with our lifestyle, right? So they have to figure out how to do it. And one of the things that you have to understand when it comes to pet dogs and your life is that it all also depends on your own lifestyle. Are you a busy person? Are you an active person? Are you a person who's chill, calm, likes to hang out at home, introverts? Maybe you are introverts, or are you extroverts? All these things also will determine how much exercise you have to provide for your dog, no matter what the breed is, no matter what the situation or your lifestyle is. It all depends on how your your it all depends on how your lifestyle is, how you live, and your dog is just going to figure that out and is going to just merge in your lifestyle. So if you have a lifestyle that is busy with work and things like that, your dog has to learn to deal with your lifestyle that is busy. If you're a active person, has to become an active dog. If you're introvert calm person, your dog has to be calm introvert person. So first understand that your dog has to will figure it out and will merge in with your lifestyle anyways, will figure it out and get along with your lifestyle. And in general, when we are talking about pet dogs, you don't want to give them something that is not realistic. You don't want to provide them something that is not realistic. So what I mean by that is, if you are, for example, a busy person, you can't realistically you can't exercise your dog for 2 hours per day, right? So realistically you can't provide that. So you can maybe provide an hour a day, let's say, of exercise for your dog. So that is the realistic amount of exercise that you can provide for your dog. So your dog has to figure out to adjust itself to live with a 1 hour of exercise per day. So these are things that you have to consider, your lifestyle, and how can you incorporate exercise in there. Can you provide an hour of exercise for your dog? That hopefully you can, and that would be the ideal amount of exercise that any pet dog should get. An hour of exercise per day is ideal for any breed of dog. I don't believe in the idea that you have to exercise your dog all day long, no matter what the breed is, especially if you have a like Samoyed or Malamute, if you have a Beagle or whatever that they say, oh, you have to exercise them all day. No, I don't believe in that. I don't think you should do that. Any physical body of can't handle that much exercise. Exercise should be limited. Physical exercise and activity should be uh, in, enough for the dog to be physically happy and satisfied, and be able to bring that heart rate up for continuous at least half an hour. So therefore, I suggest you to focus on exercising your dog for an hour, and ideally divide that into half an hours per day. You should be okay. You should be fine. Don't listen to other people that they say you have to exercise your dog like crazy. Unfortunately, that's a bad advice. The reason for that is because many pet dogs are bred uh, badly, and when we breed them badly and we exercise them, we are putting too much stress in their body and joints, and that causes them uh, a lot of development of health issues and injuries and things like that. So I don't believe that you need to over exercise a dog. Stick to 1 hour of realistic exercise per day. Whether you are a busy dog owner, whether you're not, an hour of exercise should be enough for your dog. So that is my answer to that question. I hope you gained something out of that. So the next question is coming from um, it's related to a video that I have done, and it's coming from Naveen 100 Kumar, um, at Naveen 100 Kumar. Um Says, "Hello, Saro. I wanted to understand how to correct my dog from biting due to anxiety. In the anxious situation, will this work?" So what this person means is, watch this video, but I wanted to explain a little bit in more detail uh, the question that this person asked regarding this approach to, um, I call this how to punish a dog, but basically what it is this is how I would correct a dog, how would punish or address a dog, or uh, discipline a dog, let's say, right? Uh, I don't think that you should be using physical punishment and yelling and things like that when it comes to your dog. When your dog is doing something that is unwanted, I don't think you should be, I don't suggest you to um, yell at that person and um, yell at that dog or be physical to that dog, right? So I don't think it's a good idea to be punishing a dog, especially when it comes to anxiety. Uh, Especially in this case, for example, this dog gets anxious and starts biting, right? So, would this method of correction and addressing the behavior, would this work? So, let's say, for example, this case, the dog is biting the human, right? Because of anxiety. Would this approach of correction or addressing the dog, would it work? So what I mean by that is I'm going to show you how I would address a dog when it's anxious, right? When a dog is anxious uh, and is behaving certain way, it's definitely a signal that that dog needs a little bit more, I would say, gentler, more emotional uh, approach, right? You have to, especially with an anxious dog, you have to be a little bit more, uh, uh, I don't want to say gentle only, but you have to be more um, calculated. You have to calculate how to approach this dog. You can't just throw everything in to that dog and say, let's see if this is going to work, and let's see if that's going to work. Let's see if that's system is going to work or not. What you want to do is, with the anxious dog, you want to help them to calm down. The way you help an anxious dog to calm down is allow them to focus on one thing. That's the key. When a dog is anxious and stressed, there are 10 things going on in their brain. I can go hide, I should run, I should bite, I should do this, I should do that, 10 things are going in their mind. But your task should be to narrow down that brain activity to one thing. You want to narrow it down to one, to allow the dog to focus on one thing, right? And in this case, for example, your dog is biting. So the biting is the outcome of being anxious, right? So a dog who's anxious will say the way they communicate, the way they communicate to us and say, Saro, I'm very anxious. What do I do? So they can't say that, right? They can't really express that verbally. So the way they express that is by taking action. Some dogs they bite, some dogs they bark, some dogs they uh, pee in the house, some dogs start digging a house, some dogs start chewing your furniture, your shoes, and things like that. So the way they um, express their feelings and emotions and they say I'm anxious is by doing certain things. They take action, right? So they're literally communicating to you how they're feeling, right? And I'm glad that you picked up that cue from your dog that yes, your dog is anxious. So can this method that I'm showing in this video help your dog to be less anxious? Let's watch the video first, what I do, and then let's analyze if this is going to work for an anxious dog. This is what I'm going to do. Annie, no, sit, stay. Annie, come. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. Stretch time. Sit. Stay. Okay. Sit. Stay. Annie, come. Annie, place. Here. This way. Sit. Stay. Okay. Sit. Stay. That's how I punish my dog. Using what she knows, the basic obedience, and I retrain her. I may do this session 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's how I punish my dog when my dog is doing something wrong. Okay? This is the proper way of punishing a dog, using what the dog knows and using against them. If your dog is barking, if you do a mini session training with your dog at that moment, your dog is going to say, okay, I barked and we did this session. My human, my mom, my dad is going to make me do this over and over. So next time, I may not do that anymore. I may not bark anymore. I may not get aggressive anymore. I may watch what I'm doing. If you, every time your dog is making a mistake, doing something that is driving you crazy, instead of getting angry, instead of being annoyed, just do a mini training session with your dog and get your dog to practice that behavior that is wanted with you. Not only it gets your dog to practice the behavior that is wanted, not only gets you and your dog to be connected more, not only gets your dog to learn how to behave properly, it teaches the dog that if you do this, this is what's going to happen. So I didn't punish her. I didn't get angry. I didn't get. So you see where I'm going, right? So would this work with an anxious dog? Yes, it will, because we're allowing the dog to focus on one thing, which is me, maybe, the dog owner, maybe the activity that we're doing. But I want to make sure, I want you to understand, also make sure that you need to have some form of basic obedience training embedded in your hopefully lifestyle, so you can use that to redirect your dog's anxiety to this activity. So as you can see, when I'm, for example, working with Annie, she's focused on me. And let's say if she was barking or she was anxious or something like that, then I'm redirecting that anxiety away from my dog and allowing the dog to focus on me. So for at least for 5 minutes, let's say, I'm teaching my dog to not to be anxious, right? And then that hopefully is going to lead to being less and less um, anxious. That will help my dog to be less and less anxious in the future. So yes, definitely will help, as long as you're doing something that helps the dog to so you can redirect the focus from whatever it's the dog doing, right? Hope that makes sense. I hope that explains and says gives you some ideas. Let me go to the chat, live chat, and see how things are going. So we have John the Beagle dad. John Cipolla is one of my students. It says, how, hey folks, Rue had a bit of tummy ache, runny stool for 3 days. Is that unusual? She will be fine. John is also asking, where else is this streaming? It's just on YouTube, John. I have questions. These questions that are I have here, they have been pre-submitted via YouTube, my community section, or via email, or in my videos. Joyce Robertson is in the house. Says, I have an 8-month-old beagle who has started displaying resource guarding behavior. Offering a trade does not work. How can I reverse this? Joyce, this is a great question, especially when it comes to beagles. Beagles are so-called foodie dogs. When they are starting to resource guard, it's a behavior that I would say it's very common and normal in dogs. The reason I say it's normal, it's because dogs, in general, no matter what the breed is, in general, they like food. Food, it's it's very important to dogs. Let me see if I can bring. I think I have a video, but I'll explain what to do. So food for animals, for dogs, is very important. That's one of the reasons I don't suggest using food for training, is because it has this um, one of the triggers of using food as training tool is that causes this resource guarding behavior to develop, actually. So that's one of the reasons I don't suggest using food or treats as a reward system, as a reward system. So when your beagle is displaying resource guarding, to me it signals that your beagle was one of those puppies when it was very young and it was still in care of the mom, its mom. It had a hard time getting to the teeth of the mom to get food. So what has happened is that because it had a challenge to get to the food, um, it developed this anxiety and behavior in its brain. I call it tattooed, this emotion, feeling, and scarcity in its brain, that food is scarce. I'm gonna die if I don't get food, right? So it has become that important to your beagle. So probably it's something that it has developed already from very, very young age. And what has happened is now, when a behavior like that has developed at that age, you cannot remove that behavior. You cannot get over that behavior because it is part of uh, its system now. It's, for example, myself, I have this tendency that I have, um, I don't know, I feel a little bit timid or shy around, let's say, I don't know, certain people. It's not because I'm afraid of them, but something when I was child probably has happened to me, a form of trauma that now it's coming out and it's showing up, right? And I have to live with that. It's not something that you can get over it. You can't get rid of it. It's something that is part of your life now, right? So I would suggest to understand this fact that it's something that it's embedded in your Beagle's system, right? You can't get rid of it, but you can start managing. So offering, like, when you're trading food with treats or things like that, that doesn't really help, because you're dealing food. That food already is a big deal for your Beagle, and you can exchange it with another food. Food is food for dogs, right? In general, treats are food, food are food. You can use food against food, and that's why it's a losing battle when you think of it that way. So the way you want to manage it, or in your question you're saying how can I reverse it, you can't really reverse it, because as I said, it is embedded in your Beagle's system. You can manage it, and unfortunately, we want to have a cake and eat it too. Right? So what I mean by that is, we want the Beagle to not to care about the food anymore. That's what we want, yes, but that's not what your Beagle wants, right? It's Food is very important for your Beagle. You have to address what is realistic, right? So what you can do, instead of worrying about um, how to reverse it, say how can I help my dog and how can I manage this. So the way you manage it is you let your Beagle eat in peace. If you're giving food, you know give food and let your Beagle eat in peace. The more opportunities for your Beagle to have to eat its food in peace, the more relaxation you're helping your Beagle to be more relaxed and calm around the food, without going and annoying and trying to remove the food or replace this with that. Just give your Beagle, 5 minutes of peace and quietness to eat. And once it's done, remove the ball or whatever. When you're giving treats, just give it the treats. Don't overwhelm your Beagle to, oh, can I touch it, can I do this, can I do that. Don't overwhelm your Beagle. um, when you're giving a bone or something, just say, okay, for 20 minutes I'm going to allow the Beagle to work on this bone. After 20 minutes, what I would suggest when it comes to like bones and things like that, that it will take them longer to work on it. Let's say you give 20 minutes of peace and quietness for your Beagle to work on that bone. Um, Come up with something that your Beagle really loves. Beside food, I'm sure your Beagle loves something else. It's a person, it's a toy, it's a bag of treats that your Beagle loves. It's something, whatever it is that your Beagle beside food loves. Present that and redirect the behavior, right? This is why training is very important. Training, also, it's not something, sorry, it's not something just to train the dog to sit and stay. You can use it in these situations like this, like, Rover comes to you, leaves the bone alone and comes to you. That's the reason why you're teaching, for example, training your dog, right? Is to have control and management of your beagle. It's not just to teach them to sit and stay and calm. It's to use as a communication system for between you and your beagle, so you can communicate to tell them to come to you and things like that. And also, training is not just one part of the solution either. So you have to provide your beagle's daily 5 essential needs, which are exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection, in order for your dog to feel more secure, more connected, and more bonded with you, that feels safe and secure to the point that says, I'm in an environment, in a home that provides that safety and security, that I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I can eat my food in peace, and food is not scarce anymore for me. You can't really reverse it, but you can help your dog to manage that emotional attachment and feeling that it has with food. I hope that makes sense. I hope that gives you some ideas to work with. Let's go to the next question, which is, it has come from a message, a private message on my program, on my software that I have. So it comes from Stanimer Hadzish. Yeah, it's a very hard name for me to pronounce it, but I'm gonna Stanimer is asking this question, and the question is, because it's a long one, I couldn't fit it in the tab that I can show you. But let me see if I can show you online. Maybe don't want to show the other stuff. Like, I want to keep it private. Let me zoom in. Let's see if this is gonna help. Yeah, this is not working. Okay. I'm gonna just read the question. Okay. Hi, Saro. My Beagle is 3 months old now, and tomorrow is actually going to be his first day going out for a walk. So I have a few questions. Can you tell me how to deal with him biting me? Most of the times, he bites my hand, and is when he starts to get more comfortable with me massaging him. Another example is when we are playing, at some point he starts biting me my ankle, and there is no game that would distract him. Not really sure what he is trying to achieve with that. Lately he bites me a little bit less, as I am screaming with loud voice when he bites me hard, but it's still not gone. And when we have visitors, occasionally he bites them a lot. Is there a way to make the dog, that's one question. Number two question is there a way to make the dog wake up a little bit or later than 7 a.m. or when it starts to get light? Okay, so the first part of the question is, how do you stop a 3 months old puppy, Beagle puppy, who's biting? So biting is something that it happens when puppies are teething. So what that means is, they're replacing their puppy teeth with the adult teeth. It starts around that time, actually. And what happens is, it makes the dog to makes the gum to feel a little bit itchy and irritating. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to bite things to um, to relieve that um, discomfort that they're feeling, right? So all you have to do is notice that that's the reason why your puppy is biting. that is related to the gum mainly. And puppies, they need to have an outlet to bite. So you can either provide chew toys or chew bones for your puppy to bite. You can provide other puppies or other good adult dogs who are okay and they are safe around puppies to play with your puppy so they can bite each other. And number three is remember that puppies, they need, this is another fact actually many dog owners they don't realize. Puppies need to sleep 18 to almost 20 hours a day. And when you don't give them or allow them to sleep that many hours during the day, they get stressed, they get anxious, they get overstimulated, and they redirect that anxiety and stress and uh, bitterness to uh, to biting. With again, they're communicating. They're saying, "I'm stressed and anxious. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to bite." Right? The biting again is a communication. Um, so you want to realize that and address, the biting regarding, um, understand that it's a way of communication, right? It's not something that they're doing to piss you off or anything like that. So let me see if I can share this for additional um, information. Let me see if I can.
And sit and stay. And okay, cookie.
This will redirect your puppy's biting focus to doing something else, such as playing with you. So that would be your second option. Your third option is to walk your puppy. So you have told your puppy no, and your puppy doesn't stop, and you played with your puppy for 5 to 10 minutes, and yet your puppy comes back and bites you. Then it's the option three that I suggest you to do, which is taking your puppy for a 15 minutes to half an hour walk. So that those are a couple of examples of solutions as well that you can use to stop your puppy from biting. Yes, try to exercise and do things like that to get your puppy to be a little bit stimulated. But also remember that you need to allow your puppy to sleep and rest as well. Your second part of the question is there a way to make the dog wake up a little bit later than 7 a.m. or when it starts to get light? Puppies, unfortunately, they need to get up, wake up periodically to go to do their business and come back and sleep again. Unfortunately, that's how it is the reality is that puppies require um, nanny. They they need you're going to have some sleepless nights until their bladder is fully grown, fully developed, so they can hold. uh, Mainly the reason why they're waking up early is because nature calls and they have to go and do their business, and that's why it feels like they're not sleeping in. They need to sleep a lot, but you need to allow them to sleep during the day a lot, on and off, and in the evening as well. At night, you're going to have sleepless nights for a while until they are fully developed. What I mean by fully developed is until they can hold their bladder enough. longer, right? That's the only thing that I would suggest, right? We have Ruth M says puppies are like babies. They need to go out more frequently, but our adult dog is happy to get up when we get up. She sleeps with us in the bed and doesn't want to leave until we leave the bedroom. Exactly. My dogs are like that too. My dogs are mature adult now. Yeah, but exactly. When they are puppies, you need to be aware of that and take them out frequently. But our dogs, adult dogs, they sleep in as long as we sleep, and once we get up in the morning, we step them out and we let them do their business and things like that. And easy peasy, yes, that's no questions asked. All right, let's go to the next question. Next question comes from Amanda Lee. Says, my dog Charlie gets very excited when we're out, and it's hard to keep him focused during training. What tips do you have for managing his excitement? So, Amanda, first of all, understand that excitement is something that you need to be able to control and manage it starting from home. So if you're exercising or you're training your dog outdoors and it's getting excited, that means Charlie needs to it needs to practice calmness and being controlled and managed at home rather than outdoors. You have to start the training at home. So I suggest you to start the training at home where it's calmer, it's quieter, it's more doable and it's more manageable. Because if Charlie is getting excited outside and cannot focus on the training, that means you have gone too fast. So, what I mean by that is, I suggest to divide the training into 5 levels: indoors, in the house, backyard, front yard, street, and then park. So I'm guessing when you're saying your Charlie gets excited outdoors, that means you're at the park, for example, or on the street. So that you are level 4 already, or 5, right? So you've gone from level 1 already to levels 4 or 5. And you skipped all the between levels. So that's why you can't control the excitement, because you haven't practiced controlling the excitement at home, which is the level 1. If you control and manage if you're able to control and manage the excitement at home, then you can transfer that information to the backyard that is more manageable and doable, and then you can control it there. And if you are able to control it, then you move on to the front yard. Backyard is the next level of the living room. So when you achieve the living room, then you can start hopefully achieving and having better results in the backyard. And once you achieve that, then you can go front yard and on and on. But my suggestion would be to literally go back, back off in your training. When you're outdoors, don't have expectations from Charlie, and start controlling and managing his excitement starting from home. I hope that helps, Amanda. All right, I'm going to try to go as fast as I can through these questions so I can get everybody's questions answered. Next question is from Mark Peterson. Mark is asking, how much exercise does my 5-year-old German Shepherd really need each day to stay healthy and mentally stimulated? I was just talking about exercise. One of the first questions that I answered, it was about exercise. No matter what breed, And what also age, I would say age is a little bit determines how much you should exercise. So puppies, I would say, for example, you exercise them 5 times a day, 15 minutes each time. That should be enough, right? uh, Adults like 5-year-old German shepherds, they're going to need 2 half-an-hour exercise sessions, total of 1 hour a day. When they get seniors, like 7, 8 years old and older, they will need about half an hour of good exercise per day, because again, we don't want to over exercise them, cause physical injuries or health issues to develop. Our purpose of exercising them is to help them to be healthier and more relaxed and calmer. We don't want to cause more stress in the dogs. Hope that answers your questions, Mar. Next question is from Jessica Thompson. Saro, I've been struggling with potty training my puppy. She keeps having accidents indoors, especially at night. What should I focus on to fix this? Um, if your puppy is having accidents at home, that's just a signal that you need to step your puppy out more frequently, often. Uh, I usually suggest to let puppies out before and after playing, sleeping, and eating mainly. Uh, During, before and after of any activity that your puppy will be doing, you want to step them out. So, for example, even now, I do with my adult dog. So before dinner, for example, I'll step them out. I'll let them out to do their business, then come in, and then they eat. And then after they eat, we step them out again. Because, you want to create that, first of all, routine for your puppy, that this is what's going to happen. This is how we're going to do. So you go out, do your business. You won't be fed until you do your business. You come back, you get fed, and then you get to go out. So one leads to another, right? So that way you're not only creating this routine for your puppy, but also you're managing their potty related issues. And in general, just creating routine and having that program in a way that helps your puppy to realize that I'm going to be living, I'm going to be going out every 2 or 3 hours, I'm going to do my business. That becomes a routine for your puppy. And again, puppies, they need to grow, and as they're growing, they're able to manage and control their bladder better. So just think about it that way. I hope that answered your question. Next question is from Michelle Johnson. I believe it's Michelle Johnson. Um, my dog has started showing signs of aggression when we have visitors. How can I address this and prevent it from escalating? Uh, so whenever I hear questions like this, whenever a dog is giving us a signal like this, like, when visitors, for example, in your case, are coming and your dog is showing signs of aggression, first of all, it shows to me that your dog is. I would love to know what breed of dog is, Mike, Michelle. Actually, if you're watching, let me know what the breed is. Um, if uh, if your dog is getting aggressive when visitors are coming, that means your dog is sensitive when visitors are coming home and stressing your dog. So why would visitors stress a dog? Let's think of it that way. Uh, is it because your dog is focusing on the visitors rather than, let's say, you? That could be the reason, right? Uh, so your dog is saying, damn it, visitors are home again. I have to do this. I have to feel like this. I have to do this, do that. Your dog is stressing itself for something that it shouldn't, right? It's your house. It's what I mean by that is when I say it's your house, your life. I'm not saying that you have to be a dictator and say to your dog that, hey, I'm in charge. I'm the alpha. Uh, you are the beta, and you have to follow exactly what I say. I'm the dictator here, and I tell. No, it's not that. The way I want you to look at it is, we humans make this choice and the decision to bring dogs into our lives, and we have to be able to provide them uh, the path or the way we want them to live with us. They didn't choose to live with us. We are the ones who choose to bring them to our lives. And try when we bring them to our lives, we have to set some rules and regulations that we have to follow and they have to follow as well. So it's not about, do what I say. It's, I want you to come and live with me, but here's how you're going to live with me. I work, I have visitors coming and often. I have mailman comes, drops off every few days or every day. Uh, Something I have, places that I go. There are places that I take you with me. There are places that you don't come. There are places, all these things you have to share and explain to your dog. And if you share and explain to your dog that this is how life is living with humans, then the dog says, oh, okay, this is how it is, right? This is how you live. This is how you want me to approach this situation and approach this environment, approach this thing, right? If you express that, if you share that with your dog, then your dog says, oh, okay, all right, they're just visitors. Okay, enjoy your visitors. That's fine. I'm just going to go and chill over here. If you need anything, let me know, right? That's how it should be. But I think at this stage, Michelle, what it is, your dog is saying, hey, human, I'll take care of everything. Let me take care of things. Let me set my rules. So the pages have turned, and your dog is in charge of your lifestyle rather than you being in charge of your dog's lifestyle. So, as always, the way you provide that system to your dog is by providing your dog's daily 5 essential needs, which are exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. Meanwhile, if any of you is interested in working with me and you're struggling with your dog and you need help, make sure, first of all, to grab the free handbook that I have it in the description. The link is in the description. First of all, go ahead and grab that, download it, and have it as a handbook, what to do if you're struggling with your dog. And if you have a dog who's challenging and you need help and support and you want me to help you, I have a link also in the description where you can set up a free video call with me that we can chat and go a little bit deeper in your situation, your own particular situation, to see if I can help you and coach you through this journey that you're going with your dog or dogs. All those information is in the description below. Let's go to next question, which is, I have a 3-month-old Beagle who doesn't respond well to treats during training. Do you have any alternative methods I can try? This question is coming from Sarah Williams. Sarah, uh, this is exactly what I went through many, many years ago with my Jonah, uh, Jonah the Beagle, that he wasn't also food motivated. It didn't, treats and food didn't motivate him. So the way I approached my problem was by introducing a new method or system um, to to reward my beagle. The way I did it was I started, first of all, invested a couple of weeks. I didn't go to work. I just stayed home and focused on him. It was a puppy, and I spent a lot of time with my puppy playing games and things like that. I noticed that if I started playing games, I was able to uh, not only have fun with my puppy, but I was able to teach and actually train my puppy, which was very amazing and also surprising to me. Why am I saying surprising? Because uh, when I was learning about the challenges that I had with my beagle, and I was uh, um, researching, and I even signed up for puppy training classes, and those classes they were all using treats and food. I realized that my dog, my puppy, was not responding to those treats, and the dog trainers were limited themselves they were limited to, no, you got to use treats, you got to use food, and if your dog or your puppy is not uh, showing interest in food or anything like that, your task is to go and find treats or food that your beagle is going to respond to, and that was the challenge for me, that it wasn't the food that was motivating my beagle to understand and grasp this idea, that wasn't the food that was rewarding for my dog. What it was rewarding for my dog was the fact that I was interacting with my dog, the fact that I was investing time with my beagle, and it was allowing me to use myself as a reward for my dog. And that was the eureka moment. What if I play and praise and invest time with my puppy, with my dog, I get results? And that's how my journey in the dog training started. That's how I became obsessed with dogs and obsessed with learning about dogs and dog training, dog behavior, and dog psychology and human psychology, actually, because um, I had to learn how to solve my problem. And the way I solved my problem was invest a lot of time and energy in learning about dogs and what motivates them. And I realized that it's it's not what the market is telling us to focus on. The market is telling us to focus on training our dogs using uh, treats or food or aversive tools and methods. That's what the market is uh, suggesting us to work with our dogs. And unfortunately, it's not the right way of addressing those behaviors and also uh, rewarding our dogs. So there are many alternative methods that you can try, but I suggest you to use play and praise to reward your dog. And Sarah, if you want to go even deeper, make sure to book a free video call with me, which I have the link in the description below. Go ahead and book a day and time that is ideal for us to meet, and I can actually go more in depth and teach you how easy it is to reward your beagle, especially 3 months old beagles. They are so much easier to train. They are willing to play, they're willing to please humans. They're beagles. It's so much easier. So I can show you and teach you how you can get the best of your beagle. So can't wait to talk to you, Sarah. Thank you for the question. Next question is from David. David, I can't pronounce that last name. I'm sorry. It's from David. Says, my dog Bella is very anxious and barks constantly when I leave the house. What steps can I take to help her feel more secure? Well, I think you're saying that your Bella is dealing with separation anxiety. Separation anxiety in dogs is very common. Number one reason why dogs develop separation anxiety is because because of this. Understand this part, okay? Dogs have been bred and designed by humans for humans. So because we created them, they are very attached to us, very dependent on us, right? So this is why, follow up on the previous question. This is why it's so much easier to train a dog, including beagles, because they already are connected to us naturally. We bred that into our dogs. So they're very connected to us. So we can train them. The unfortunate, pros and cons of it. The cons is that because they are so attached to us, when we detach ourselves from them, they stress out. They say, no, 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 you're supposed to be attached to me. You're supposed to be with me, right? And when we detach ourselves, they get stressed. And when they get stressed, they don't know why we are detaching ourselves from them. So the better solution would be to communicate that to our puppies or to our dogs, that, for example, to Bella, you have to be communicating that when I leave you is sorry, I didn't turn off my phone. So you have to be able to communicate to your Bella that when I'm leaving, I'm not leaving forever, right? I'm coming back. And that's the part that many dog owners, they don't realize that, and they don't understand that the reason your dog or Bella is stressing that you're leaving is, one, could be that, hey, I'm very dependent on you. Don't leave me. I don't know how to live without you, right? Very romantic. But also the other question that they have is, hey, you're leaving me. You're not going to be safe. You're going to be in danger. I don't want you to be in danger, right? So they are kind of feeling that they are in charge, and when you're leaving them, you're going to be in danger. So there are, as I said, there are two ways that can this communication go in a way. It's either the dog is saying, don't leave me, I'm very attached to you, I need your support, I can't live without you. Or the dog is saying, hey, where are you going? You're not, just like a parent that is worried about the kids going out. Hey, where are you going? What time you're coming back? Who are you hanging out with? How are you going to get there? How are you going to come back? Worrying about you. So your dog is either feeling that or that, right? And when a dog is feeling one of those feelings and emotions, what it does, it stresses. And the best way to distress a dog is to make sure, again, that we are telling the dog that, hey, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know how this is my life. I'm bringing you into my life. So you're coming into my life, and you have to incorporate and uh, be in merge. You have to merge with my life, not me merging into your life. It's a give and take situation. You have to give a little bit, you have to take a little bit. I like that option of giving and taking. So you want to give as much as time as you can to spend with your dog, but also you want to take, you want to say, you know what, I I want you to be happy, but I need to go to work, right? I need to go and see this. I need to go and do this. I need to go and pick up this, or I need to go shop or something like that. So you always want to give and take. And when you give and take and you have this conversation with your dog, that brings the stress level down and the anxiety goes down, and your dog feels more comfortable and confident in what the situation is, so it doesn't stress out as much as before. All the best luck with Bella. Again, David, if you need help, feel free to contact me and let me know, and I can see if I can help you in deeper level. The last question that I have is from Emily Collins. Is says, "Hi Sarah, I have a 1-year-old golden retriever who keeps pulling on the leash during walks. What can I do to stop this behavior?" Pulling on the leash is a case and situation that it has to do with few things. One is that certain dogs, they like to go faster than humans. Number two is that the dog sees that situation that I'm going for a walk. So the human, I don't care about the human. I'm just going for a walk. So that's why they're just pulling, because they don't care that you're with them. Number three, it's just that something that you haven't trained or taught your dog, that this is, again, this is the communication, right? It all boils down to lack of communication between human and the dog. And if the human is not able to communicate clearly to the dog what is supposed to do, then these problems arise, right? The dog starts pulling on the leash because says, this is how it's been since I've known this human. I've always pulled on the leash. I'm always going somewhere. So my solution to this problem is always think of the the process first. Level one process is, I'm going to help my dog to go for a walk. It's not my walk. If human wants to go for a walk, you go on your own and walk the way you like, the speed that you like, wherever you want. But you have to consider that the walk that you're giving to your dog is your dog's walk, right? So if you think of it that way, then I think a lot of pressure comes down. So, it's not my walk, it's my dog's walk, my golden retriever's walk. It's not that we are going from A to B, it's we'll go out wherever my dog wants to go. So when you think of it that way, you're saying, it's my dog's walk. So let's just take my dog for a walk. Your task there is just during that walk is to just to direct and manage and control that walk. So you're making sure that it's safe. The places that your dog is going to walk is chosen and it's selected and is safe and secure for your dog to walk. And your next task is to say, you know what, go and do whatever you want during the walk. Anything that you want. It's your walk. You can do whatever you want. You want to go fast, you want to go slow, you want to sniff, you want to run. You can do anything that you want. except pulling me on the leash. And that task of stopping the dog from pulling on the leash is something that you work on building it up layer by layer. You start from inside of the house, and then you improve it in the backyard, and then improve it in the front yard, street, and then at the park. Many dog owners, they take the dog from home to the park. They drive from home to park, and they ask the dog to walk nicely at the park, which is, again, too fast, too much. You're going from level 1 to level 5 all of a sudden, right? So you want to work on building those levels, Emily, and then expect to have results. All these things, can be worked on, can be taught, can be learned. It all comes down to, again, how is your relationship with your dog? Are you providing your dog's daily 5 essential needs, which are exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection? If you're not, then your dog is going to pull on the leash. In order to improve the leash walk, you need to improve other parts of your dog's life in order to get the results that you want. I think I got through all the questions today. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask your questions either in chat or in the comments area. I'll help you to address those issues that you're having. Don't forget to grab your free handbook, the Busy Dog Owner's Guide to Transforming Your Dog's Behavior. In the link in the description is in the description. Go ahead and grab that. And I hope you enjoyed today's Q&A session. I think I got all the chats going. John says we gave Rue some antibiotics and probiotics. It's not my favorite way of dealing with diarrhea. Rue, if has diarrhea, I would say, don't feed your dog for a couple of days. I know it's hard, right? And that's good. To give rice and chicken breast as well is good also. But I would let my dog to fast as much as possible, maybe a day or two if possible, and see how it goes. Let the system to clear out, and then start giving that chicken and rice meal. We have one more question from Ahti Parna. Maybe you already answered my question, then I'll look later, but I have a question. We have a 2-year-old Galgo and 4-year-old Beagle. Galgo has been with us for a month, but has now started to control. Yeah, I don't see the follow-up. Galgo, I'm not very familiar with the Galgo breed dog. Let me see, Galgo dog. Oh, Galgo is a Spanish Greyhound. Okay. So it's kind of a Greyhound dog. Looks beautiful. Looks interesting dog. Oh yeah, so it's starting to control the Beagle by growling at her and sometimes even trying to bite. And we cannot understand what might be the cause and what to do to let him settle their affairs themselves or not let to bite the Beagle. So when it comes to two dogs and having problems, hold on, my dog wants to step up. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. All right. Uh, okay, so you see, so this is a clear sign that the human has said to the dog, has had this conversation with the dog that you are in control and the human is secondary or third, right? The dogs are in control and the humans are in the background. So you have to make sure that your dogs, both dogs, know that the human is in charge. Again, not as a dictator, not as an aggressive leader, as a human who says, "Hey dogs, this is how humans live and this is how we want the dogs to live with humans." Right? Rather than the opposite, which is dogs come to humans' life and dogs do whatever they want, and they they dictate what to do and how to do. And because the human is not in charge, the dog, uh, your greyhound is telling the beagle, "Hey, do what I say, because the humans are not listening to us. Let's behave this way." So the human hopefully is going to get the cue to tell us what to do and what not to do. So the human has to tell the dogs what to do and what not to do. So, and wife says that this started when I went to work, so seems that they are not authoritative to them. Yes, that's exactly bingo. So the the person maybe that was setting the rules, maybe it was you. Now you're not present, and now the dogs are thinking that they are supposed to do to replace you, right? Right. So again, I'm not saying to be aggressive. That's not the way you build a relationship with a dog, by aggression. It's the way you build relationship with dogs and control and manage them is by being calm, relaxed, but clear in your communication, right? I'm not saying to be yelling at your dog saying, "Hey, I'm in charge." That doesn't bring clarity. Even though you're yelling, you think, "Okay, I'm yelling or being aggressive and hopefully the dog is going to get a clear message that I'm in charge." No. The way you are clear in your messaging is, think of it this way. In marketing, for example, if I promoted that, um, I don't know, this product is going to help you live long. Just showing and saying that doesn't bring clarity. What the hell is that? How is it that is bringing that opportunity for me to live long? That's not clarity. Even though I'm showing and saying things, it doesn't bring clarity. But if I tell you, for example, um, if you want to live longer, try avoiding eating processed foods and try eating fresh foods. And number one, eat fresh foods. Number two, exercise. Number three, don't live with stress. You will live longer. That's much more clear, right? So you want to make sure that you're bringing clarity into the pictures. So Seems that even wife giving them food is still not enough. Also, they have started barking more during walks without me. Yes. So giving food doesn't tell the dog that you're in control. What tells the dog that you're in control and you are kind of the one? Let me show you what it is. Let me bring a graph that it will show exactly what I mean. So what it will tell a dog that you're in charge is when you provide a dog's daily 5 essential needs. If you are able to provide enough proper exercise for your dog, first thing, and then training your dog, do some training with your dog, provide some form of socialization for your dog, and then care for your dog, feeding, and then share affection with your dog. If you follow this formula in this order, then you will be able to tell your dog that you're in charge. That's how, for example, you develop dominance, for example. For sake of being clear, I'm not saying be dominant to your dog. I don't like the idea of domination, to being dominant to dogs. But for many dog owners and many people, domination means I'm in charge, I'm in control. So if you want to be dominant to your dog, this is how you're going to be in charge, in control with your dog. When you provide your dog's daily 5 essential needs, which are exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. Yes, feeding is part of it. Exercise is part of it. You're walking the dogs, you're feeding, your wife is feeding the dog, your wife is walking them. Yes, but is she training them? Is she allowing them to socialize with the environment and everything else? Are you sharing affection at the right time after you have provided your dog's daily 4 essential needs? Most dog owners, they don't realize that they're making so many mistakes when it comes to the way they are approaching their dog. They approach their dogs thinking that I'm going to share affection and then feed them and then take them for a walk. Hopefully that would be it. That's not it. You want to make sure that you're exercising your dog first thing properly, good amount of exercise, and then you're doing some training with your dog. Training is building that communication system between you and your dog. And then you are using the information that you have provided for your dog to socialize your dog. And then you're providing some form of care for your dog, the way you can provide care and the way that you can afford to provide care for your dog. And then you share affection with your dog. If you do it this way, you will have better results. Okay? So I hope that answered your question. So that's how you can release that tension that is between your greyhound and your beagle. The tension that is happening between your dogs is just a conversation and a signal to you that you're not doing your part. It's their way of communicating to you and telling you that they need you to be in charge, to be the leader. Okay? So I think I answered all the questions. I hope you enjoyed today's Q&A session. I will hope to do more of this in the future. Check out my new video in the channel. I just posted yesterday. It's about what not to do with the puppy. There are certain things that you shouldn't do with a puppy, and one of the things that maybe you are doing, or you have been doing, or you will be doing with your puppy is that you shouldn't be putting your puppy in a situation or a condition that it's not suitable. So I show and share in that new video. Make sure to check out my new video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. There is a subscribe button right here. You can click on it and subscribe, and make sure to check all to get all the notifications when I post a new video, or if I go live in the channel, you can get notified. Please share. Please like this video. Click on the like button as well. And also, if you have any questions, make sure to ask them in the comments area, and I'll be reading and answering them, hopefully either in using the conversation that we're going to have in the comments area, or I will make a video about it. Thank you very much. Remember to have fun with your dog, and if you want to work with me, make sure to check out the link in the description where you can book a free video call with me to see if I can help you achieve the goals that you're wishing to get. Thank you very much. I had fun doing this live session. I hope you enjoyed as well. Until next time, have fun with your dog.